Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are still working with Walmart sales data. As I remember from previous video, we create a new data frame with just as an index value date and the weekly sales. So we have a weekly sales of Walmart, weekly bucket, and we will start to prepare ourselves for some forecasting. So let's start from the top. Which new things I add in the libraries is Statsmodel, because we will try to make some adjustments about stationary of the data, some outliners, any pike trends. We'll use those as well. We use seasonal decompose to see those, and we'll try to make use add fuller method to check if our data is stationary or not. So we put like 3 new lines for you here, and we'll try to use the Statsmodel methods. And let's go. Yeah, so remember our last thing in previous video was to create line chart, weekly sales over time, and then what we're doing here is to use methods as in the compass for it. Modality period 52 because we have the data in weekly bucket. And then we'll try to plot our data set, because you see, look at the decompose, there is like 4 things, and here you can see that I plot each of component of the data, and I create the colors for it. And last thing in this code is to plotting it with matplotlib, so you can see it here. And what is the information that we received? So we have 4 things: observed, trend, seasonal, residual. First of all, observed, you can see the data is pretty stable, nothing happening here, just these 2 big pikes in the middle. Then we see trend. Trend's pretty stable, we don't see some big seasonalities. If seasonal data, what I see from my perspective is that we have 3 big parts of data, and it can be possible there is some seasonalities, but we're not sure yet. And in the residual, we see pretty similar things, so like 2 big pikes. What I'm seeing here for this information at the beginning of our checks, right? Because we are now on the beginning, that it can possibly seasonality is not so important for us. That the data is more stationary, more stable. But let's see further. And the next thing I was thinking that is outliners. There is many options to check it. I was thinking maybe you can create a box plot. So we are setting the new aesthetic for the plots. It will be from Seaborn. It will be white grid and palette mute. Then create this PLT figure and PLT box plot. So data is weekly sales. Data is our data frame. And then we are going till information like PLT title, X label, Y label, and PLT sticks. So here we create information about labels and title, then sticks, and last we are plotting it. And first thing that I was seeing here is that we have a lot of data and on the right side, and it can suggest that the data may be right skewed about the distribution, because we see a lot of data that is somehow outliner, right? It can be outliner from this perspective. You can see it here on the right side. Next thing that was the I would like to plot the autocorrelation to see if there is something that we already see from the plot. And what I can see is that distribution is going slowly down. That information is going slowly down, but it shows directly if this is more stable or not. So from this perspective, I would like to make it with adjuvant decal floor test, because I was not so sure like if this is real, that this information gives us everything, because I see the data, probably the previous data will have big influence for our future information, but I was not so sure. So my last step was to create very simple code to check if this is true. So this method is already in the library, so you can use that add fuller method on this sales data with weekly sales. Here I just create the print function with we'll be creating, as you can see, that the statistic, and we're creating the other statistic, right? It will be printing p-value from p-value. At the statistic result 0, because it's a kind of index, and the result 1, it will be weekly sales. And this interpretation is very simple. If p-value is smaller than 0.05, the series is likely stationary. If not, it's not stationary. What can really see that data is very much smaller than 0.05, and probably series is likely stationary. Yeah, so I think that we should stop here, and then we will start to think about the next very base forecasted options for us. Thank you for watching.